大家好，我是陈如玉。今天的主题是关于素食主义你必须知道的警报区。So if you're going to try to follow a plant-based diet, I want to make sure that you succeed. So there's usually some common ways that people will fail and then quit. And so, the number one reason is that people feel too hungry all the time. So that just means that you're not eating enough. If you're switching from eating a lot of meat and eating, higher calories and higher fat, then all of a sudden, if you're switching to eating lower calories, then you are going to feel hungry because it's a pretty big difference. So you do have the ability to eat more. That's the difference that people don't realize, that the volume that you eat can increase. So, this much meat, a little piece of meat versus this many vegetables is the same amount of calories. And so, once you're starting to eat a plant-based diet, then you realize that you can eat bigger quantities. And that's what people don't understand. And so then they get too hungry, and then they blame it on, oh, I didn't have meat, that's why I'm hungry. But actually it's because, oh, you didn't eat enough, and that's why you're hungry. So for example, you can eat as much of, the leafy greens or celery or any of the high water content vegetables like winter melon or cucumber or zucchini, all of these that have very low calorie but high in fiber and high in water, then that'll keep you full, and you can just eat as much as you want. Cabbage and cauliflower, they're also quite filling because of the fiber content, but it's very low calorie, and so then if you feel very hungry all the time, then you can eat as much of these kind of things as you want. But also, like I mentioned before, if you're feeling too hungry, then you can eat, some nuts or seeds that will help you get full, and just a little bit will, not make you gain too much weight. And because it's, even though it's high calorie, it's going to, make you more full and satisfied for longer, and that will prevent you from eating too much. The second problem is that people feel like there's not enough nutrition, and so then they feel like, oh, maybe they're feeling weak or they're too tired, but also, that's probably due to not eating enough protein. So protein is in everything. So even strawberries have protein, or potatoes have protein, even just a little bit. And but some plant-based foods have more than others, and some actually have more than meat. There's also a concern that you won't get enough vitamins and minerals, but actually there's plenty of iron and vitamin C, vitamin D in plant-based foods. You just have to make sure that you're eating a good variety. So don't stick to just one thing and eat it all the time, but you have to eat many different kinds of foods, and that's what you want to do anyway. That's more interesting. Plant-based diet is really good for everybody, but especially for middle-aged people and also younger people. So middle-aged people, maybe they've had not so good of a lifestyle in the past, and they're already starting to feel some health problems. Maybe their cholesterol is high, maybe they're pre-diabetes, or maybe they have diabetes. A lot of the causes are from food. Cancer, like certain kinds are, like stomach cancer is caused directly by preservatives that are found in very the preserved kind of meats, like sausage, the nitrates, and so eating plant-based then helps you make sure that you're getting all the antioxidants, and those are very healthy for you because they're fighting all of these things that are coming in and harming your body, and you want to make sure that you're getting the fresh ingredients that have vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin C, and those also help with your immune system. eating plant-based is much better for your heart, and eating too much meat has been shown to have a shorter lifespan when people look at the comparison between people who eat vegetarian and people who eat meat. So another mistake that people make is trying to change too much and too fast. So, like I said before, eating is such a habit that we've, accumulated over our entire lives. So it's really hard to change really fast. So the best strategy, I think, is to take it slow. So, for me personally, when I became vegetarian, I just cut out beef. That was the first thing. And I think beef is the one that is, the most impactful. It's like the least healthy for you. It has the highest fat, and it has the biggest impact on the environment as well. So it takes a lot of resources to produce beef. So if you're concerned about sustainability issues as well, beef is the number one problem. And then after that, then I removed pork, and then I removed chicken, and then it was fish, and then eggs, and then dairy, and then finally then I was vegan. So it's kind of a process. So you can think of it like taking step by step, and that way it's a little bit easier for you to feel like it's a change that you can keep. That's the most important thing, is that you stay this way and you keep consistent to the plant-based diet. So it doesn't matter how fast you go, as long as you keep the long-term goal of eating healthier. For a lot of people, they feel like they can't give up animal products completely, so they focus only on eating seafood, like then they become pescatarian, or some people think that just being vegetarian is okay, so they still eat eggs and dairy, and so that still provides a lot of the protein from those animal products. If you still feel that you need some sort of animal kind of protein, but there is still plenty of nutrition and protein in the vegan diet, but it's just about if you feel that it's the most suitable for you, and if you feel comfortable and happy doing it. So the most important thing is that you don't feel guilty when you eat something bad, and you don't have a negative attitude about food, because food should be viewed as something that is very special. It's something that it literally gives us life. Food is the thing that gives us energy. Food is what makes us alive, and so you should treat it as something that is really, really special. And that means that technically nothing is that bad for you. It's okay to eat some meat sometimes. It's okay to eat fried food sometimes. It's okay to eat processed food sometimes, as long as your overall diet is pretty healthy. And so that's the message that I want to make sure everybody understands, is that plant-based diet can mean that you just eat a lot of vegetables. Maybe 90% is plant-based, but then 10% is you still eat a little bit of meat, or you still eat a little bit of eggs or dairy. And it's an interesting thing that what you eat determines who you are, but also your mind determines what you eat. So if you're stressed, that's going to cause you to eat usually more of the unhealthy kind of foods. We crave sugar, we crave like fat, greasy foods. So it's important to try to stop that cycle, because it can become, if you're stressed, then you eat these bad foods, and then these bad foods make you stressed, and then you're stressed, and then you eat these bad foods, so it becomes a cycle. So it's difficult sometimes to break it. So that's why this 7-day course is a good way to try it. If you try it at least for 7 days and see how it goes, and if you commit to that, at least trying it for 7 days, then that gives you a chance to try to break the cycle.